Luke Thomas here with SBNation.com, here to preview the other big boxing event on September 15th, also in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, we previously talked about Canelo Alvarez fighting Josecito Lopez. That'll be on Showtime, and it'll take place at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Just down the strip at the Thomas & Mack Center, Sergio Martinez will defend his WBC middleweight title against Julio César Chavez Jr. As Max Kellerman put it quite correctly, this is an incredible fight for two reasons. One, Sergio Martinez has all the credibility in the world, but not the fame that Chavez Jr. has. By contrast, Chavez Jr. has done well on HBO, even when fighting guys not that great, and is obviously the son of arguably Mexico's best boxer ever, but doesn't have that same level of respect that Martinez has. Let's talk about this fight a little more in depth. First of all, and you've heard me say this before, skills win fights. That's why Alvarez, I believe, is going to beat Lopez. But as it relates to Martinez, I do believe still he is the more skilled, versatile fighter of the two. I know people believe that Chavez has many more ways to win. I'm not so sure I agree with that. For Martinez, first of all, he's got unbelievable experience. You know, since the first loss to Paul Williams and the way he rebounded by starching Paul Williams in the second match, to me, tells me this is a different kind of guy. And by the way, he is also a southpaw. That should be noted. But listen, it is true that Martinez has been a slow starter of late. You really saw that in the Macklin fight. That's kind of problematic. I do think that Chavez Jr. will make it competitive early, but over time, you have seen Martinez come back late several times. He adjusts in fights, makes clear, precise, tactical decisions. He has a thunderous left and, I believe, a decent jab as well. Chavez Jr., to me, a little more all over the place. He gets criticized for his lack of amateur experience, but I don't think that really holds any more weight. And really, I believe he has made a turnaround his last 5 or 6 fights, fought better opponents, and seems to have momentum building every time along the way. So here's the question. Can the guy who has proven himself over and over again, but is 37, in Sergio Martinez, can he overcome the guy who finally seems to have righted the ship when he coasted all along on popularity? All that said, who do I like? I like the Argentine, Sergio Martinez, to win here. Listen, it's not that Chavez Jr. can't rise to the occasion, and like I said before, I do think early in the fight, he's going to be a tough test. But over time, even at 37, Sergio Martinez, frankly, hasn't looked much better than he has today. This is a guy who has been through fire. This is a guy who has fought, frankly, a better quality of opponent much longer and really wants to solidify himself as the #1 middleweight in boxing. And maybe that title belongs to Golovkin, and maybe that title belongs to Gil, but it doesn't belong to Chavez Jr. Sergio, Argentino hasta la muerte, Martinez will retain his WBC light middleweight title on Saturday night at the Thomas & Mack Center. For SBNation.com, I'm Luke Thomas.